350 or better. A 346 world record annihilated, not just beaten by Denmark. And so they're going to have to take stock. I think Great Britain for the Olympic podium, absolutely, it's totally still on. But they have got more Olympic kit to come, which they haven't used yet. They haven't fully tapered for the event, so I think we could see them giving Denmark a scare. But on the basis of what we've seen so far, they're obviously the team to beat. The Australians have rolled out a lot of their Olympic kit, and they still got a trouncing. So for them, it's they haven't got more to pull out later on.
Because they were the team that everyone thought were the big favourites.
Well, they're the two, Great Britain, Australia. This has been their event for over a decade. And suddenly they're fighting just to get a shot at the podium. So everything changed at this World Championships.
So Stefan Bissegger, Robin Foidevaux, Claudio Imhoff and Lucas Ruug. For Australia, Lucas Platt, Alex Porter, Cameron Scott and Sam Welsford.
So 350 dead for Australia, 350 0.15 to be precise. Switzerland 352.8, a long 352. So as far as winning goes, Australia should have this. But how fast can they go?
Well, Australia came to these championships as the defending champions, having won in Pruszków in Poland last year. Here we go. Last few seconds of hush. Away we go, 16 laps of the track.
So let's see how they're getting away. Good for Australia. I would expect nothing else. Into formation in just over half a lap. Already on the bars in 3/4 of a lap.
Remember, the winners of Heat 3 and 4, this is Heat 2, they will race for gold and silver. All the other teams, it's on the time. The fastest two will race for the bronze medal.
So that's what this is about for Australia. Already nearly a full second ahead of their opponents. So we expected that, but they have to go fast here. Time all important, and I think they're going to have to produce potentially another 350 to have a shot at going for a bronze medal. A position they never thought that they would be in.
Sam Welsford's been hurtling around the bottom of the track, out the front.
So 1:2:09 they posted earlier, 1:18 this time around, so they're ahead of their time this morning. They're heading for a time sub 350 at the moment, which is still a very special place to be.
Big turn from Welsford's finally come to an end. He's handed over and it's Platt now.
Change. It was a very brave change, massive heights, but then spent a 1/4 of a lap just getting back into shelter.
He's now into shelter. Platt leading the way. Porter second in line for Australia. Big difference between the teams. It's purely about the time for Australia here.
So we're looking to beat a time of 1:57.3 at the halfway mark. That's what they're heading for. $1:56.7. So again, just going under, or aiming for rather, the 350 mark, and they're ahead of it. But they've made a couple of technical mistakes, unusual for the Australians, and that could cost them in the latter stages. Some long turns being thrown in, the Swiss team down to 3. And they're fighting back. I mean, 2 seconds off the mark. They lost a lot in that first kilometre.
Working hard to reduce the deficit out there on the track.
Australia already getting some advantage here from the Swiss 3. At these speeds, the turbulence set up on the track. So they're getting something of a pull from the opposition.
Next time over the line, 1 kilometre to go.
To 2:53.0 is what they're aiming for at this 3 kilometre mark. Oh, they're just slipping away now, and they're outside of 250 now. They're down to 3 riders, and they've lost pace. Short turns as well. That doesn't look good for Australia.
So 3 more laps of real hard work, a second and a half, and The Swiss are chipping away. Bissiger doing a good ride on the front at the moment. He's doing a sizable turn.
Well, they'll be getting that feedback from the coach at this late stage as well. I think it's too much to make up, but they are coming back. Credit to them.
Stefan Bissiger still riding on the front for the Swiss. It's gone back out a little bit by another 3/10. Sam Welsford looks to drive it home for Australia, to claw out every fraction of a second that he possibly can.
So how fast can they finish?
3:48.625 Australia. That's a very fast finish.
That last kilometre was remarkable. It does sometimes happen if you have a slow member of the team who's dropping the pace, and when they get out of the way, you can actually go quicker. Well, that's what we would have expected from Australia up against this opposition, but it's late in the day to do it. It might see them going for a bronze medal.
3:48.625 from Australia.
And that's the second fastest time in this competition. They're not going to be happy with that, but they can at least be content they've got themselves back on track. There they go, out of the gate.
I think it was Cameron Scott who dropped out for Australia.
A lot of work being done on the position with these riders. You can see their arms are technically, they're supposed to be level, but they've got a 10-degree leeway, and all of them are using that to bring the hands up in front of the face, drop the head to meet the hands, make an arrowhead formation.